So the Kendrick and Drake beef has settled down. I feel like Drake is more accepted in the public now. For the most part. Maybe like during the summertime, I don't think people are gonna really like bash him as they would have like a week or two ago. But in this video, it says Kendrick exposes how Drake assassinated XXX. So maybe the beef isn't over yet. Maybe they still gonna be going at it. Let's see what this video right here has to say and what evidence they bring to the table, man.
XxTentacion has been shot in Broward County. The rapper was allegedly targeted while shopping for a motorcycle.
Before X died, he said, if anybody kills me, it's Drake.
He did say that.
I think that for one moment, here today, days after the event, he's killed by two masked men, right? He came on social media and said, guys, before he dies, if anybody kills me, it's Drake. Do you think in that time span that they went and they addressed him, they talked to him? No. Do you think sitting here today, years later, any detective has ever asked, you know, Drake or anybody like that? No.
No,
they never
Sirski.
did that. So you ask yourself, how could that be?
Did one of the biggest rappers in the world, Drake, kill one of the most promising upcoming rappers ever, XxTentacion? Fans have been talking about this conspiracy theory for years, but especially right now. Jury selection is happening right now for the murder case of XXX. Defense attorneys for some of the suspects are requesting that Drake sends in a deposition and even testifies to tell us what he knows and if he had something to do with it.
Kendrick and Drake have been dissing each other back
That'd
and
be
forth,
crazy.
but now Kendrick hit Drake where it hurts the most. There's always been talk of his involvement in XxTentacion's death, and Drake even found himself in some legal drama when lawyers in court hinted that he might have had a hand in his passing. But like, did Drake really have a role in all of that, or is it just noise? And does Kendrick really know more about what really happened? So here's the scoop. Some people over on Reddit...
So by the end of this video, we're going to need to decide whether we believe Drake actually did it, because we know artists like Jay-Z or Diddy, they could get away with a lot of things when they have that money and connection. So we're going to need to decide whether he did it or not.
Are cooking up theories that Kendrick Lamar's track Not Like Us might be hinting at some deep stuff involving Drake and the tragic passing of XxTentacion back in 2018. One said, does Kendrick know Drake put a hit on X? This is a reach, but I wonder if Kendrick knows Drake put out a hit on XxTentacion. X was at a motorcycle shop on 6/18/18 when he was murdered. There's a motorcycle glove on the music cover. Is there something going on there? Kendrick wouldn't just put a random picture of a glove as the music art for no reason. Now, let's rewind a bit. XxTentacion got shot down in Florida and the whole world was shook. Even though 3 dudes got charged with his murder, rumors about Drake's role have been swirling since. Here's where it gets juicy. Before XXX's untimely exit, there was this wild post on his Insta pointing fingers at Drake saying something like, if anyone tries to kill me, it was a champagne poppy, Drake. I'm snitching RN. But then XXX claimed his account got hacked and that post disappeared pronto. TMZ even spilled the tea that Drake dodged giving a testimony at HIA trial. All thanks to his ongoing...
Bro, just the fact that XXX, he did have some beef with Drake during that time, and he went and made that post on Instagram. Now, him saying that his account got hacked and someone made that post, I feel like if someone went as far as to hacking his account, they would have done something way worse than that. You know, something like very crazy. That right there seemed like a conscious message that, yo, if I die, it's Drake.
Feud with XXXX. Now, let's talk Kendrick's bars. In Not Like Us, he drops these lines. How many stocks do I really have in stock? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5, Sounds like simple math, right? But hold up, Reddit sleuths like Devimo got a theory. The 5 plus 5 could be shouting out X's name, since the Roman numeral for 10 is X. They're saying the line, how many stocks do I really have in stock? 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 5. From Kendrick's joint could low-key mean, how much more should I say? Translation, he's wondering how deep he should go. But hold up, Drake's been playing with numbers too. Remember his track On BS from Her Loss? He spit something like, maybe I should break that 10, do a 5, then if it gets live, do a 5 again. If he held his tongue on that live, he'd be alive again, damn. Sounds like he's juggling with the same digits. And yo, check out I'm Upset from Scorpion. Drake ain't shy about throwing shade or keeping it real. He's got lines like SMS XXX. That's the only time I ever shoot below the neck. Skrr. Why you keep on shooting if you know that dead? Skrr. That's the only kind of shit that gets you some respect. People been connecting those bars to XxxTentacion's tragedy. But why would Drake be involved?
Drake really did say this. He said, XXX, that's the only time I ever shoot below the neck. Why you keep shooting if you know that nigga dead? That's the only kind of shit that gets you some respect. Wait, but he did say if you would have kept your mouth shut on that live, you'd be alive again?
Only kind of shit that gets you some respect. People been connecting those bars to XxXTentacion's tragedy. But why would Drake be involved? Before his untimely departure, X was making waves in the hip-hop scene. He wasn't just about dropping chart toppers like Look at Me, though. He was also notorious for his legal troubles and beefs that kept the spotlight on him. Now, in the rap game, a well-timed beef can skyrocket your career real quick. And who better to stir the pot with than the king of clout himself, Drake? This beef started simmering back in February 2017 when Drake was globetrotting on tour, soaking in cultures like a sponge. It's like he's out here sucking the clout out of SoundCloud rappers, then tossing them aside like yesterday's news. So picture this, Drake's in Amsterdam, giving people a taste of his new track KMT with UK's own Gigs. But hold up, when the snippet hits the airwaves, people start noticing something fishy. Drake's flow at the start sounds eerily similar to X's vibe on Look at Me. Coincidence? Maybe. But some people ain't buying it, thinking Drake's out here culture vulturing Gigs and X in one go. Drake tries to clear the air in an interview with DJ Semtex, playing it cool like, nah man, I ain't biting X's style.
And I'm seeing all this on my IG under like some random picture of people being like, you took this kid's flow or whatever, right? So I'm just like, yo, what's happening to me right now, you know? So I'm sitting there, I'm trying to read, like, figure out who they're talking about. I find out who they're talking about. I go.
the XxTentacion guy.
I don't even think that's how you say his name. But yeah, that's.
I tried to fact
they call him
XxTentacion.
Why is Drake acting like he ain't know XXX was on during that time? Because he had one of the biggest songs during that year. Drake is acting clueless right now. He most definitely, bro, these artists, they're aware of what's going on in the industry. Like, that's their career for real. They're watching upcoming artists. You know, they're seeing what's going on. And the thing about XXX is that his sound was so different that it could have been a threat to, like, the top people in the industry for real.
So anyway, I go and
creative.
I find what song they're talking about, you know? And I listen to it, I'm like, okay, I see where people could draw like this comparison off of like the first two lines, whether it be the cadence or the rhyme pattern, whatever, you know? And I'm just like, yo, it's crazy that people think that after all this time, after all I've been through, that I'm the type of person to go pre some song that's on SoundCloud. It doesn't have like 2 plays. It has plays, you know, he has his cult following, and go and think that I'm gonna like take that and make it my own. Like, I'm not stupid. I'm not like a
But X ain't having it. In a series of now deleted tweets, XxXTentacion didn't
was
hold
trying too hard
back,
to
accusing
explain
Drake
himself.
of biting other artists' styles, including DRAM's. He openly questioned how the music industry could allow Drake to maintain his top spot for so long despite these alleged actions. Drake's career is almost over. He better start investing money into real estate cause once it's all over. He really gonna see the fake love. I'm not the first he bit, nor will I be the last. Drake, money don't buy you respect. Then he tweeted, now this trying to play it safe and play it innocent, but it's cool. We all know Hotline Bling was a bite of cha-cha. I'm not gonna say no names, but it's funny how one of my niggas me up saying Drake watched our interview and with you. So he practically declared Drake's career dead in the water. Spoiler alert, that didn't age well. And now the tweets may be gone, but the screenshots will live as proof forever. First off, X ain't the only one who's rode that flow train. Back in 2015, Lil Uzi Vert was already rocking a similar vibe on Super Saiyan Trunks. That track dropped way before X's Look at Me hit the scene. And even before Uzi, other rappers were dipping into similar flows. But X ain't letting up on Drizzy. He's dialing up DJ Academics from behind bars, straight up calling Drake out that he knew him way before he stole that song. So why was he pretending that was the first he heard of him?
He's trying to give himself, whether he spoke to him or Drake spoke to him, point being is that Drake knew who I was at that point in time. Long before that. Long before the videos, long before he was exposed for what he did, he knew. and he went on the video, he went on the fucking video and lied. That's part one, period.
And there's even receipts from X's ex-manager, Adam22, spilling the tea that Drake's team was eyeing X for a collab before all this drama. Then there's the whole courtroom drama. In his first interview after getting out of jail, X got real about why he's got issues with Drake. He is not a man. I think he's a bitch. That's a bitch move, especially when I was in jail facing life. You know what I'm saying? If Drake would have came to my bond hearing, you know what I'm saying? That would have made my day. If he had showed that he's a hospitable person and that he's really in this shit for the culture, rather than being taking my shit, running off with it and then putting it on his album, then he would have gotten my kudos, gotten my respect. I would have let him hop on the remix and take 100% royalty rate. I would have done it. X is out here suggesting Drake should have shown up to his hearing. Like what? It's like X is expecting Drake to drop a verse in his defense. But let's keep it real. Drake ain't signing up for that. He's got nothing to gain from writing for someone accused of some heavy stuff. And X isn't stopping there. He's taking shots at Drake's mom, pulling up on Instagram Live with some wild antics.
Hey, you guys.
This man was being disrespectful.
Hey, tell Drake mom, I want some. Hey, tell Drake mom, I want some tapioca pudding. Tell Drake mom I like my pudding tapioca. And I like my kneecaps like sandbags. Yo.
It's like he's taking a page out of 6ix9ine's playbook, but hey, you can't deny it's entertaining. But here's the kicker, Drake didn't take the bait. He stayed quiet while X kept throwing punches, until, that is, Chicago's own 600 Breezy jumps in the ring speaking up for Drake. Tell Shorty be cool, man, do his music thing and turn up. He got a good fan base, like especially from where he from, they riding for that man. He ain't bout, we come from Chicago, we started from rap beef. Breezy goes even further, straight up saying he's ready to hop on a flight to Florida and sort things.
It says, yeah, on Drake, it was Drake and the 21 Savage song on BS. It says, do a 10, maybe I should break that 10, do a 5 again, then if it gets live, do a 5 again. If he held his tongue on that live, he'd be alive again. I'm not gonna lie, it's all alluding to XXX, bro. Even what Drake is saying in his songs. He said, do a 10. He said, I should break that 10. I think he's talking about X.
Out with X. X doesn't hold back in response, tweeting, these talk too much, shut up. He even drops a video suggesting he's got the situation under control in his own hood. After 600 Breezy's little adventure in X's hood, things seem to cool down. He's out here kicking it with Drake at Coachella like they're best buds. But just when you think it's all good, 600 Breezy decides to take a stroll through X's turf in Florida. X ain't having it, warning him to tread lightly. Now, 600 Breezy spilled some tea in a recent sit-down with Vlad TV, breaking down how he got dragged into the whole XxXTentacion murder trial saga. Apparently, it all goes back to his Florida trip, which he made after X dissed Drake's mom. But hold up, Brian. But in the middle of all
I actually just saw Tripper like a week or two ago.
This, X is making moves of his own, announcing his Helping Hand initiative to support foster kids. He's talking about donations, challenges,
Actually, so because I went to this spot in Miami. I'm not gonna give the name or whatever, but I actually saw Trippy, Moneybagg Yo, and Odell Beckham.
Spreading pop. In the end, X's efforts to turn over a new leaf are commendable, but they can't erase the shadows of his past. So, X's Helping Hand challenge was a noble gesture, but let's be real, it doesn't wipe the slate clean, especially considering his troubled past. But just when things seem to be looking up, Drake swoops in with his God's Plan video, dropping stacks on people in need all over Miami, including X's home state of Florida. Drake's Instagram post shortly after seemed to throw a little shade at X's challenge, and people like DJ Academics and X himself weren't shy about calling it out.
That's right. However, after Drake put up a caption today, and you guys can go watch the God's Plan video, you'll see the caption where he's kind of shitting on challenges, but saying he still want to encourage good deeds. He says this, I'm not into challenges on IG. I find them annoying. But today I'm going to challenge everyone to go out and do something for someone, anything, the smallest thing just to bring another human being some joy. And please tag me in it somehow so I can see all the love being spread. You don't have to play the song in the background or have some hashtag. This isn't about strings and all other tactics being used. just go be kind in any way you can, and let's all watch the world be nice to each other, even if it's for 24 hours. Thank you. Now, here's the thing, because there's a couple words in there, a couple phrases that I was like, kind of seems like he's taking shots at that helping hand.
But when Drake reached out to academics to clear the air, saying he wasn't trying to diss X, it left folks feeling some type of way. X even came forward, showing some appreciation for Drake's good deeds, but you could tell there was still some tension lingering. With X losing his life in a shooting, and that's when the conspiracy theories started flying. Some people were quick to point fingers at Drake, suggesting he had a hand in X's death. From lyrics to Instagram posts, everything was under the microscope, fueling wild speculations about what really went down. First off, let's talk about the tragic incident that sparked all this mess. XxXTentacion was gunned down in broad daylight outside a Florida motorcycle shop. It was like something straight out of a movie, except way more real and way more devastating. XXX's lawyers are now trying to drag Drake into the murder trial, saying there might be a connection between their beef and XXX's death. See, while Drake denies any wrongdoing, XXX's lawyers are arguing that the cops didn't look into their beef enough after XXX was killed. But here's where things get interesting. Fans started connecting the dots, thinking Drake might have dropped some hints about XXX's fate in his music. In his track, I'm Upset, he throws out some cryptic lines that got people talking. And on another song called On BS, he gets all mathematical, leaving fans wondering if he's sneakily referencing XxXTentacion. And months before XXX's untimely passing, he was already speaking about the possibility of violence against him, something his lawyers later referenced in court. XXX shared his desire for his message to live on, even if the worst were to happen to him. And sadly, not long after these words were spoken, struck. XXX went about his day, innocently withdrawing money before visiting a motorsports store. But what he didn't know was that he was being followed. Security footage captured the chilling moments as 4 suspects trailed him into the store, their intentions veiled behind masks purchased just minutes earlier. After XXX left the store, he was ambushed. The suspects blocked his car, robbed him, and in a moment of senseless violence, ended his life. So where does Drake fit into all this? Lawyers suggest he might have had a hand in orchestrating the hit, but Drake has remained tight-lipped about these allegations. The investigation into XxXTentacion's tragic passing shed light on a chilling reality. The attack wasn't random. It was targeted, intentional, and according to his sister, Ariana Omfroy, someone put a hit out on her brother. And eyes quickly turned to none other than Drake and his crew, including 600 Breezy, Tekashi 69, and members of Migos. Initially, fingers pointed at others, like Soldier Kid and Soldier Jojo, who were allegedly at the scene of the incident. But as the investigation deepened, the spotlight shifted to Drake. Now, the defense lawyers for the accused in XxXTentacion's case are pointing fingers at Drake. They argue that the Broward County Sheriff's Office may have rushed to pin the blame on their clients without thoroughly investigating other suspects, including a certain celebrity. And on social media, many were quick to speculate about Drake's involvement. There are tons of threads of proof and fans connecting the dots on what happened. One wrote, "Drake for sure did it. He said it multiple times. He said, son, about XXX the only time I shoot below the neck." And on Knife Talk with 21 Savage, he said, "I got him while I flew to Turks, and a little over 2 weeks after X's, Seth Drake was spotted in Turks." And another, X posted on his story, "If anybody kills me, it was Drake." Or the part in the song Mob Ties where Drake says, "Louis bags in exchange for body bags." X's Louis bag was stolen. In the same song, he talks about he can hire people to kill other because of his mob ties. Same song, he says, "Sick of these niggas, hire some help." Also missed the part where one of the shooters admits to being hired. You also missed the part of how X and Drake had major beef and XXX photoshopped a pic with Drake's mom and said he'd fuck her. There's much more evidence. So, what's the verdict? Did Drake borrow more than just beats from XxXTentacion, or is it all just a big coincidence? It's a mystery that's got rap fans scratching their heads and digging into the lyrics for clues. Let us know what you think, and don't forget to watch.
I'm not gonna lie, with all those different instances that Drake is talking about, hiring people to kill people, mentioned all these, like, he said if you would have kept your mouth shut on alive, you'd be alive again. I feel like Drake is actually making it pretty obvious. And then we also have XXX talking about if he was to die, Drake did it. And then we also have the police officers and the investigators and detectives not even really questioning Drake about what happened, even when the lawyers all up there in the court trying to have him do that. So I'm leaning more towards the side that Drake's most likely set a hit on him. I'm not gonna lie, but it's still up in the air. Comment down below what you guys think with all the evidence that's been provided in this video right here. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one the same way you're gonna catch me in the next one. Peace.